I don't buy their narrative. When you find out that, like, they lied about Russiagate.
That was the beginning of the end.
They've been coming after me again lately, in case you might have noticed. It's funny, the more trouble Trump gets into, the wilder the charges and conspiracy theories about me seem to get.
The Steele dossier is your whole thing.
Yeah.
That was really the undoing of a lot of cable news, I think.
They thought they could get away with it because they have gotten away with it before, which makes you think, how many of the stories, other than the ones we know about, like the weapons of mass destruction, how many?
There are days when Hillary seems like a sensible Midwestern Methodist who grew up Republican in a suburb outside Chicago. That's the biographically accurate Hillary Clinton. But it's hardly the only Hillary Clinton. During the years she spent in Arkansas, for example, Hillary often played the loyal daughter of the American South, a Southern fried Dixie lady with a spunky feminist twist. That was the character she was portraying when we first met her 30 years ago.
The former First Lady just stumbled into a verbal minefield for which she was completely unprepared. Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson are also not holding back. What begins as sharp criticism quickly devolves into ruthless destruction, shredding her political illusions like paper in a storm. Every dispute, mistake, and carefully crafted narrative is exposed and demolished. This is more than just criticism, it's a brilliant example of undermining authority with wit, truth, and a hint of savage comedy.
Even Hillary is now talking differently about other people. She said about Bernie, nobody liked him. She would have never said that. Before Donald Trump, she would have never uttered those words. His victory over her is deep in her DNA now, and she's starting to exhibit some of his patterns.
Yeah.
By saying nobody ever liked him, how could you say that? Millions of people like him. They're voting for him. Millions of people. To say nobody like him, these hashtag I like Bernie start popping up. Like, that behavior is a direct reaction to her getting pounded on.
A few years later, Assange upended a presidential race by publishing a trove of internal emails from the Democratic Party. Democrats claim the emails had been hacked by the Russian government, but they hadn't been. That was a lie. The emails had been leaked from within the DNC itself, almost certainly by a disgruntled employee. Those emails proved that Hillary Clinton's campaign had rigged the 2016 Democratic primary.
Hillary Clinton's political career has always resembled a never-ending Broadway musical where the star wants to play every role, changes the script mid-performance, and then accuses the audience of giving unfair reviews. As a politician, she would try to shake hands with all the mirrors in a room full of them. Over the decades, she has mastered the art of turning every failure into a speech, every dispute into a victim narrative, and every awkward smile into an uninvited campaign billboard.
Well, unlike most professors at Columbia, she destroyed an entire country, a whole country. She wrecked the nation of Libya, which is a real country in North Africa. She killed the guy who ran it for no reason whatsoever. Now they have slave markets in downtown Tripoli. So she does have the qualifications when she talks about international affairs.
Joe Rogan doesn't even have to search far for comedy gold. Hillary practically hands it to him as a gift. He would say she's been preparing a comeback or chasing something since the 1990s, like a political sequel that somehow keeps getting greenlit despite a poor box office showing. Imagine a movie franchise where the plot never changes, yet each installment promises a fresh narrative. She's always the hero, and in the end, she explains why the critics just didn't get it while everyone else is cast as the villain.
I don't want Hillary Clinton to win. I think she's ridiculously awful too.
I think a lot of people really disliked Hillary.
They should. She got a shitload of money from banks. She's completely full of shit. She didn't like gay marriage till 2013. She didn't agree with gay marriage till 2013. Like, what are you, a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you even care? Because she's not real. She didn't care. She just was doing what she thought would support her.
Tucker Carlson then reveals the Clinton story with more audience tears than a cutting onion. He reminds viewers of Hillary's uncanny ability to play both the insider, who's seen it all, and the outsider, who has been wronged by the system. She's a political shapeshifter, one moment the seasoned diplomat, the next the empathetic grandmother who just happens to have an email server hidden away like a family recipe no one is allowed to see.
Well, the first rule of running for office is you gotta have some kind of job. You gotta look like you're doing something important, like you're a successful person. You can't just sit around all day smoking weed and skateboarding. Sorry, Beto O'Rourke, that doesn't work. So when you see an unemployed politician get employed, maybe you should pay attention. That just happened to Hillary Clinton. She's got a brand new job. Who would hire Hillary Clinton? Honestly, well, Columbia University would. Columbia University has now made Hillary Clinton a presidential fellow and, quote, professor of international relations. Now, what does Hillary Clinton know about international relations that qualifies her to be professor of it at an august Ivy League university or crypto Ivy League?
Her leadership style has always blended corporate jargon with the stern tone of a school principal instead of simply talking at you. She teaches in a way that makes you feel as though you're about to be put in detention. Rogan has joked that if she were given a podium and a laser pointer, she could turn every press conference into a TED Talk about why she was the rightful winner of every election she ever lost. She could lose a game of Monopoly and still use the thimble and the top hat to launch a worldwide conspiracy theory.
I can't imagine being in a situation where I'm on television and I'm saying things that are so removed from the truth. I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, Hillary did the same thing. People forget this. She did talk about a firefight that she was involved in.
I was under sniper fire, and the worst thing about that people didn't give a shit about, she said when she was in Bosnia, she was under sniper fire. It's like, you're throwing the Secret Service under the bus. Because what kind of Secret Service is going to let the First Lady run under sniper fire?
I remember landing under sniper fire. There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down.
Tucker, who never misses a joke, zeroes in on the image. Hillary is the political equivalent of a leftover meal in the fridge. You've seen it before. You know exactly how. It tastes, yet it's reheated and served with new garnish as if it's brand new. Her resume is impressive, but it reads more like a list of almost victories than actual accomplishments. In her public relations efforts, she has oversold her own charm and underestimated the public's patience. Rogan criticizes her overly polished media appearances, where she tries to seem spontaneous as if she's been secretly cramming for a pop quiz all week. Tucker hits harder when the topic of accountability arises, pointing out her remarkable ability to disappear and then reappear with a best-selling book and a new set of reasons why the official story everyone heard wasn't true. Controversy doesn't. Just follow her, it seems to flock to her, like she's running a 24-hour clearance sale on political scandals.
You're running this company, you get attacked in public, you become a prop in the Hillary Clinton campaign. The media, as always, on cue, aligns their coverage with her propaganda priorities. They're sort of a seamless unit, the Hillary campaign, CBS News, NBC, Shep Smith. But your job at that point is to sort of bow your head and say, busted, you caught me.
Hillary seems baffled that no one enjoys her endless reinventions. Rogan compares it to a magician repeating the same card trick, expecting fresh amazement. Her authentic moments are poll-tested sound bites and staged photo ops where she doesn't eat. Like a political safari, Rogan mocks her fixation on 2016, likening it to a breakup story she can't stop telling, convinced everyone will eventually agree she was wrong.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
Bill is so nice.
I went one time. Was he?
He's so nice. Like when I met
So charming.
he is, and he's actually still kind of good looking. Like even for an older dude. Yeah, why not? He's still so good looking, and she's just so miserable.
Well, she's publicly humiliated, and she thought that her big retribution would become president. You know, become president.
Sure.
And then that would be it. All water under the bridge. I'm a strong woman. I'm running this country. And then America's like...
Tucker likens Hillary's instincts to an outdated GPS, always recalculating, often circling back, and sometimes steering straight into a ditch. She talks like she drives the future, though voters have long taken her keys. Rogan mocks her. Staged relatable moments force laughs, awkward dances, and pre-planned surprises, comparing them to a boss's bad stand-up routine. Tucker's parting jab: Hillary Clinton isn't done because Hillary Clinton is never done.
Mrs. Clinton, when she mentioned a phrase about you, I don't want to repeat it.
Oh, you're not going to hurt my feelings, don't worry.
She called this gentleman, this honorable gentleman, that he is playing the role of a... You say it.
I didn't see it.
What does that tell you about Tucker Carlson and right-wing media and also Vladimir Putin?
Well, it shows me what I think we've all known. He's what's called a useful idiot.
She said, the useful idiot. You didn't.
She's a child. I don't listen to her.
No.
How's Libya doing?
No.
In her world, the curtain never falls, just pauses for a dramatic return. Her career is a never-ending reboot of a show that should have been cancelled. Years ago, predictable plot, stale characters, yet inexplicably renewed. Each comeback is reheated political leftovers more questionable every time they're served.
In Arkansas, for example, Hillary often played the loyal daughter of the American South, a southern fried Dixie lady with a spunky feminist twist. That was the character she was portraying when we first met her 30 years ago this month. It was during the 1992 presidential primaries. Listen to her accent here.
You're looking at two people who love each other. This is not an arrangement or an understanding. This is a marriage. That's a very different thing.
You know, I'm not sitting here as some little woman standing by my man like Tammy Wynette. I'm sitting here because I love him and I respect him and I honor what he's been through and what we've been through together.
You don't hear a hint of Parkridge, Illinois in that voice. It's all bourbon and okra.
Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson know it. Like sharks drawn to political chum, they circle with precision. Hillary's strategy has always been about positioning, finding the perfect balance between appearing young and experienced. But after decades in the spotlight, the new has vanished entirely, leaving only the seasoned parked, and not in the good way. More like an overcooked steak left too long under a heat lamp. Her speeches all follow the same formula: start with vague unity, sprinkle in identity politics, shift blame to undefined external forces, and close with a dramatic call to action. That somehow ends in giving her more power. Rogan doesn't just mock her policies, he targets her quirks. Despite never making her own coffee, she carries herself as the most relatable person in the room, thanks to her measured speech, forced laughter, and carefully timed bursts of passion.
It doesn't mean that Hillary would have been a good choice either. She was a terrible choice. She's a corrupt politician, one of the most unlikable people that's ever run for office.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
They were trying to get people supporting her just because she's a woman. This is going to be her history. You know, women, ladies, I stand with her. So there's all these women that have this blind allegiance towards this career politician. It's completely full of shit.
So I have to ask, just to leaven the mood a little bit, what's Hillary Clinton like? You're probably the only person in this room who would know.
It wouldn't surprise you to know that she's not too fond of me.
She hates you like the devil hates holy water.
When I resigned as vice chair of the DNC in 2016, specifically so that I could campaign against Hillary Clinton in that Democratic primary.
Rogan skips polite commentary, landing good punches that recall her failed attempts to seem relatable. Tucker takes a colder, surgical approach, stripping away the facade to reveal decades of debate steering, fact twisting, and victim playing. Her once greatest asset, tenacity, now breeds exhaustion, every comeback feeling like a faded copy of the last. As the roast peaks, they mock her for posing as a savior in a world that's moved on, comparing her persistence to selling flip phones in a smartphone store. The harder she tries to prove she's the answer, the clearer it is the question has changed.